the whole notion of striving readers, of those kids we have who need more in reading than we often give them, but who don't need a program. And one of the things that we tend to do is the minute that a kid falls beyond the local benchmark or begins to have some sort of issues related to reading, we tend to throw a program at them. Usually a published program without any research based. And as we all know, programs don't teach kids, teachers teach kids. So what we really want to do is recognize that there are a lot of things we need to do before we send kids off for some sort of intervention. We like to say that we need an intervention on interventions in this American education system. It seems that every time a kid does fall below benchmark, we shunt them off to some programmatic intervention. So instead of that, what we really want to do is there's some principles we'd really like to adhere to first. So we want to make sure that before we ever think about staffing a kid or sending them to RTI or anything of that nature, that we first and foremost give them plenty of time to read texts they can and want to read. That we provide classroom libraries where they can get full access to the widest possible range of interests, genres, levels of books, magazines, any sort of thing that they can get their eyes on and their hands on, so that they actually might find themselves engaging in reading. Because too often these kids we're talking about, these striving readers, don't get a chance to read stuff they really care about. Instead, they're reading worksheets and filling in bubbles and blanks. You know what I'm talking about. So before we would ever considering giving kid an added programmatic support, we want to make sure they get a chance to read lots of text they can and want to read. That we build classroom libraries that are absolutely full of the widest range of text. That we give kids opportunities to talk about what they've read in think, pair, share groups, partnerships, to a friend, in whole groups turning and talking, in book clubs, in lit circles, all kinds of ways for kids to talk about and engage in what it is that they're reading, and perhaps ask further questions about it, do further research about it. All of these kinds of things are what really engage kids. We need to make sure that we know our kids inside out. We know their interests, we know what they care about, and we find books and match them to books that way, because nothing matters more than interest. And we want to make sure they're in books they can read, at a level they can read, but it's not just about level. It's about interest, it's about robust, interesting material, and it's making sure these kids get all these possibilities that we often make available to the avid readers, to the kids who have no problem with reading, but then we tend to send strivers off where they get less time to read and less interesting material. So that's really key. So